Hey guys, happy Thursday. It's Joe and it's time for a Pikkit with Joe. I hope everyone's having an incredible start to their Thursday. We've got action back on the ice tonight as we have the conference finals coming up tonight. Game 1 between the Florida Panthers and the Carolina Hurricanes. Now we know both of these teams passed to getting here and both have been phenomenal pass. We saw the Florida Panthers beat out the Boston Bruins in a phenomenal fashion. They then took out the Toronto Maple Leafs. Everyone's saying this team didn't deserve to be here. The other team should have won. They were the underdog night in and night out, and somehow they found a way to get it done. Now, I love this storyline of the Florida Panthers, and who do I want to see go to the Stanley Cup out of these two teams? It's definitely the Florida Panthers. I love the heart and the drive of this team, and I think Bobrovsky has been a phenomenal in goal for them. So they have every ability to get through this series versus the Carolina Hurricanes. Now, is it going to be easy? No freaking way is it going to be easy. Happy Thursday to you, Matt, as well. I'm sorry I'm doing Pikkit an hour early here, you guys. Got something coming up in the next hour. Looking at the Carolina Hurricanes, they beat the Islanders. They beat the New Jersey Devils. Islanders team was a team that was so inconsistent in the regular season. I was actually shocked that they made it into playoffs. This was a team that really struggled on the road. They struggled with the consistency of pulling together wins. So we saw Carolina beat them. We then saw them beat the New Jersey Devils. And the New Jersey Devils have a better defense than the Florida Panthers. So could be the Achilles heel of the Florida Panthers here. But we did see the Florida Panthers really start to lock down in some of these games, really limiting Toronto's ability to get those shots. But it was like Toronto, like the memes were saying, Toronto just forgot that they were in the playoffs, it seemed like, out on the ice. So we will see how the Florida Panthers can go up against the Carolina Hurricanes. I would love to see them make it all the way to the Stanley Cup. So a little bit of bias here with the Florida Panthers for sure. A big shout out to you too, E. This is going to be interesting. We also have 3 brothers in this, the Stahl brothers. We have Eric Stahl on the Florida Panthers and Mark Stahl on the Florida Panthers. Now, Mark's on the 4th or 5th line, so he won't see very much playtime, but we do have 2 brothers on the Florida Panthers, and then Jordan Stahl is on the Carolina Hurricanes. So something to look at. Proud parents there. They do have an older brother, or I don't know if he's older. He's retired. Either way, all 4 of the brothers making it into the NHL. I tell you, whatever the parents were feeding those kids, I don't know. Just absolutely phenomenal. All 4 of your boys making it into the NHL. So looking at tonight's matchup, we know Carolina was going to come in at the favorite, -140. Lots of people jumping on the Carolina Hurricanes here. People saying Florida's had a little bit too much time off, but I think, you know what, this Florida team, they have not taken a break. They have been practicing. They're ready to face Carolina here, and I think it's pivotal for them to come out and do what they've done in these other games, win that first period. That will set the pace for the rest of the game. Florida loves to be able to get up in these games. They have been getting up and sitting back in a couple as well. And then when we look at Carolina, such a solid team, they're able to get those block shots. They're able to allow their opponents to have less high danger shots on Frederik Andersen. So looking at his goalie prop tonight, it's only 26.5, and it's tempting to take to that over because we know the Florida Panthers average one of the most shots on a goalie in the league per game at that 36.8. But I think with Carolina's defense, it holds opponents to right around that 26. It will be harder for Florida to get those shots on Frederik Andersen. Now, do I think Frederik Andersen saves enough to go over 26.5? He probably does. I just don't see the value at -122. But I do see the value in Bobrovsky. When we look at Bobrovsky, his numbers coming in at -122 to the over 31.5. I think Carolina is going to get more shots on him. We know the Florida Panthers defense has allowed these shots to come in. Bobrovsky's absolutely stood on his head in these playoff games. I really do see Carolina getting close to their average of 34.8. I could see 35 shots out of the Carolina Hurricanes on Bobrovsky, and I definitely think he only allows maximum of 3 goals in this one. So I am going to ride Bobrovsky's save shots on goal over 112, over 31.5 at minus 122 to that over. If it was 112, you guys know we would absolutely be taking that under. So I'm looking for Bobrovsky to be pivotal in this game for the Florida Panthers. Ultimate question is, where are we going with this bet? How are we going to make more freaking money? Team total, side, total for the game. You guys, I want the Florida Panthers to win, but I have to be realistic here. The Carolina Hurricanes on home ice are insanely talented. 33-11, 1-2 record at home this season. 18-29 at home on that puck line. Florida strong on the puck line, on the road, 24-24. Strong road record, 25-20-3. Now, there's no value on the puck line for the Florida Panthers, and I wish there was, but we can't take them there. In that first period, I do expect Florida to come out firing and firing hard. I think the speed of Florida will get past Carolina to start this first period. Now, instead of just taking the Florida Panthers on the money line, which I do like for the first period at plus 112, I think another way to attack this is to look at Florida over half a goal in the first period because we're not laying too much juice. With the low total here, the books aren't expecting the goals to come in that first period. And I do think if Florida hits Frederik Andersen, it's going to be to start this game. Could they be up 2-0? Absolutely. Could they win on the money line in the first period? Absolutely. But either way, even if Carolina comes out and gets too quick on Bobrovsky, if we take the Florida Panthers over a half a goal, which means they only have to get 1 goal. It doesn't matter the outcome of this first period. That's at minus 132. And that just absolutely screams value to me. I do think they come out hard and fast in this game. It's gonna be an absolute crazy one out there on the ice. So there's a couple of players I'm looking at. I'm not going to look at any of the Stahl brothers to come out and make big differences because they've never been big playmakers for me. Sebastian Aho, we know, of the Carolina Hurricanes. He was limited a little bit more in the last matchup versus the New Jersey Devils. I do think he gets more open shots in this one. Like I said, the defense of the Carolina Hurricane or of the Florida Panthers just isn't up to the level of the New Jersey Devils, although good. I do think they won't smother him as much. So Sebastian Aho for the anytime goals coming in at plus 160. You guys know, love that plus money. The last game he faced the Panthers in the regular season, we did see a goal and an assist out of him and 2 shots on goal. So look for Sebastian Aho to get open for the Carolina Hurricanes here. And I know I said Panthers at one point, you guys. I got football already on my mind, looking at win totals earlier this morning, trying to work out where I'm going to go with those. But we got Panthers, we got Florida Panthers, Carolina Panthers, Carolina Hurricanes. Let's just all throw those words in together. But lots of people writing Brent Burns today, over 3.5 shots on goal. I don't absolutely love it. Yes, he's a really strong defensive player that is able to get these shots on goal, but I'm not writing that. Sebastian Aho for me is where I got to put my money. And then looking at the Florida Panthers, Matthew Tkachuk, we know how strong he has been for this team. Absolutely a passionate leader on this team. Looking for him to come out tonight and record assist is just too juicy at minus 154. Give me the goal for him at plus 170. I also am looking at Montour. Now, Montour was a little quieter in the last series versus Toronto compared to what we saw for him versus the Boston Bruins, but he was still so impactful. I do think Montour comes out really impactful in this game versus the Carolina Hurricanes. So I am going to take Montour. You can get Montour. Let me just remember what his assist is. His assist is minus 113 tonight for an assist. Now, he has 73 points on the season. 57 of those points have come from assists. We know he was able to get the goals versus Boston too. So if you want to take his assists or his anytime goal tonight, I do think there's value in both. Hitting his points tonight is so highly juiced. You can't even. You got to buy it up to like 3 points. I don't want to go that high to get any value, but so many great players. Sam Bennett to also look at for the Florida Panthers. It's going to be a great night on the ice, you guys. I think that's about all I have for you. Florida has won 5 of the last 7 meetings. Struggled in Carolina, though. That Carolina home ice, 14, 13, and 2. Like I said, I think Florida has to absolutely get up, punch first. I like them. Over half a goal in that first period. I'm sprinkling first period money line at plus 112 as well. To recap the other bets, Bobrovsky over 31.5 save shots on goal for the Florida Panthers. He is absolutely pivotal here tonight in game 1 to really shut down Carolina. We know Carolina is going to be firing at will at him. We need Bobrovsky to stand on his head. I think the rest will be good for Bobrovsky. We know that he had injuries. We know Alex Lyon came in here in goal, but Bobrovsky back in correct form. I'm also going to look at Montour for his assist tonight at minus 113. Matthew Tkachuk for the anytime goal at plus 170. And Sebastian Aho for the anytime goal at plus 160. You guys have a phenomenal night. Keep smiling. Let's make some freaking money. I will be back tomorrow. We do have a game tomorrow. And then catch me on Sports Grid Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. To all the Canadians up here headed out camping tomorrow, happy long weekend. It's May long up here in Canada starting tomorrow. You guys have a good one. We'll talk.